Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be bringing you guys my Washington football team 2021 NFL mock draft. We will be doing 3 rounds and a total of 4 draft picks, so make you guys stay tuned to the end to see who I ended up drafting. If you guys are new, make sure you guys subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video, and remember to check out House of Hoodies. Use code Pedro for 15% off. Okay, so first let's take a look at where we are drafting. So currently we have the 8th overall pick in the first round after the Giants won yesterday. So if we win the division, we will most likely be at that 19th overall pick. And if we lose the division, and we're probably going to be, 5 to 6 wins if we lose, that will probably put us in that 6 to 10, maybe 11 range. So we're right in the middle of where we're probably going to be if we lose the division. And at the 8th overall pick, there's a lot of different options you could go for. So let's look at, what happened before us in this draft. So obviously this is a simulation. I don't have any control, but the Jets drafted Trevor Lawrence, then Justin Fields. So the top 2 quarterbacks are off the board, top tackle is off the board, top corner, and Micah Parsons, who I really like, he is off the board. So really, there's not many great options. I would like to go after someone like Kyle Pitts because, he's a great tight end, but he's also a great receiving threat. And then you also have Jalen Waddle, but there's not really any really great options here besides the quarterback position that I would like to go after. I would consider a wide receiver at 8, but I would really like Jamar Chase over Waddle or Smith. And if you look at the quarterbacks, I think I will draft a quarterback in this mock draft. If you guys want me to, I will do a non-quarterback mock draft next. But at the quarterback position right now, we got Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Kyle Trask, and Mac Jones as our options. All realistic, because if you look at the teams that drafted ahead of us, the only teams that really needed a quarterback were the Jets and the Jaguars, and they both drafted. Maybe the Cowboys will if they don't sign Dak, but that's really the only other team that even would consider a quarterback, and the Eagles can't because they have Carson Wentz under contract. So right here, it's really an option between Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. I like both of these guys. Both might be projects or might not be ready to play right away and might benefit from playing behind Alex Smith. So I honestly would not be opposed to drafting a quarterback in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, even 4th round, preferably in those top 3 rounds, and sitting them behind Alex Smith. And so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Zach Wilson from BYU, but this we'll get a better sense of who's better once the draft process gets along. But right now, since Zach Wilson is playing, the hype around him is real, and he's playing really well this season. Let's go ahead and look at his stats for the year. So at BYU this year, he's completing 74.3% of his passes, 2,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. So he's been great this year. And I think, sit behind Alex Smith for a year, or not even a year, just some games, half a season until whenever our bye week. I would not be mad with that. And also, guys, I would not be mad if we went after, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. And I would not be mad if we, wait until a 2nd round to draft a quarterback and focus on a better offensive weapon or a linebacker or a safety in the 1st round. But I really like Zach Wilson, and even Trey Lance would be good too. We're going to get a better sense, like I said, of who's a better quarterback once, the draft process rolls along. So let's get on to our next pick. Okay, so now we are currently at our 2nd round pick, which we have not had in the last couple of years because we traded up for Montez Sweat, which was definitely worth it. But now on to our 2nd round pick, and I am really torn between 2 players right now, and it's Terrence Marshall and Zaven Collins. One's a linebacker and one's a wide receiver. Terrence Marshall's a great wide receiver at LSU, and Zaven Collins is a very good linebacker right now, and both are at positions that we desperately need. I think linebacker is definitely a concern, and that's really our biggest hole on defense, in my opinion, because we have some injuries at safety right now, and I think once those guys get back, our safeties are going to be even better, and we got depth at that position with Cameron Curl, Jeremy Reeves. So that's the thing with our linebacker position where I really think we need to address it this offseason, and I think it's the best to do it through the draft. Not many great linebackers in free agency. Wide receivers, though, you can get some good wide receivers in free agency. You got Corey Davis, Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay, Juju Smith-Schuster, a lot of solid options in free agency. So I'm going to go ahead and take Zaven Collins from Tulsa. Great linebacker. Let's take a look at his stats. This year has 49 tackles, 33 solo tackles, 2 pass deflections, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 interceptions with 2 touchdowns. So he's been an absolute beast, and he could be a great linebacker for us, which we really need to pair alongside Cole Holcomb. That would be, a great player to fill in because, like I said, I think linebacker is the biggest hole on this defense. You could argue maybe safety, but I think, when Landon Collins is fully healthy, we can plug in a, cheap free agent or just keep playing DeShazier Everett, and I think we'll be fine at that position. But linebacker is something we do have to upgrade. Okay, so now with our 3rd round pick, we got the best 2 players available in the drafts, our receivers, and we do have a couple safeties that are available too. But I really think we should help out our young quarterback, and we have an opportunity to get a really good wide receiver for them. And I think that's what we should do. I think we got to help out Zach Wilson, and I think I'm going to end up drafting Amon-Ra St. Brown from USC in our first 3rd round pick. If you look at his stats, he's been really good this year. Only 3 games, but in those 3 games, he has 19 catches for 266 yards. And he's a decent blocker, 6'1", 195 pounds. Last year at USC, had 1,042 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's an absolute beast. He's coming out in this year's draft, I do believe, and would be another good wide receiver that we could add. We already added defense in the 2nd round, and I think, like I said, got to help out Zach Wilson. You have to make sure that his surroundings are great before you put him in. You don't want him to be playing in bad conditions. So yeah, that's why I'm going to go ahead and take Amon-Ra St. Brown, add a nice, deep threat wide receiver to our squad. Okay, so with our last pick in this mock draft, I'm in between 2 positions, safety and cornerback, which are the 2 best positions available or players available. And the reason why I lean cornerback is because I still think we could add another cornerback in there. I love what Kendall Fuller is doing. And, Ronald Darby has been solid, but I think we need another corner, or it wouldn't hurt to add another cornerback. And I really like this cornerback out of South Carolina. I also like Andre Cisco. The only problem is I really like Cameron Curl. And I think if you draft a safety, especially this, going to be taking a lot of playing time away from Cameron Curl, and DeShazier Everett is also a solid starter, and we still have Landon Collins at least for another year. So that's why I'm going to end up taking this cornerback out of South Carolina. I don't want to butcher his name, Israel. So he in 2020, has 10 tackles, 6 solo tackles, and does have a couple interceptions. He has good hands and would be a good, cornerback for us to pair alongside at least Kendall Fuller. And hopefully if we re-sign Ronald Darby, that would be a really good, solid starting secondary in there. If you have Ronald Darby, Kendall Fuller, this cornerback out of South Carolina, and then DeShazier Everett, Landon Collins, I think that would be a good duo. And then if you want, you can replace Landon Collins with Cameron Curl if Landon Collins is still recovering from his injury. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this mock draft, and let me know what you guys would have done differently. We drafted with our first pick. We got Zach Wilson, who I think is going to be solid starting quarterback in this league and could be a franchise guy. And then we drafted a linebacker, Zaven Collins, in the 2nd round because I think that's one of our biggest holes on defense. And then we got a receiver and then a cornerback to finish it off. So thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you can, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. Peace.